September 13th, 2018. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 163 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
God, you said you were ready. Then you took a big gulp of Mountain Dew.
And I had to swallow. It didn't go down right. Hello.
Well, we had a pretty good session a couple weeks ago here at Harrah's, Southern California. Actually, a very good one. Weren't you even saying that some of the personnel, I don't know if it was the pit bosses or the managers, were complaining afterwards?
Yeah. One of the dealers told me the week after that they were at the pit was complaining because that table wasn't even supposed to be open. They were going to open the other one, and then somehow they ended up opening that one.
And that's the one we were on.
And that was the one we were on, and we did really well.
So they were upset about it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
A couple of funny things. It was going so well, and of course we're whooping it up and everything. And at one point, after the point had been made, and before they had paid the line yet, you announced real loud, "I'm going to pass post."
Yeah.
You were calling the pit over. Patrick was the pit. "Patrick, I'm going to pass post." Oh my gosh. One of the dealers he just died laughing.
He just looked at me like, what? What's he saying? Yeah, I'm going to pass post.
I just want to announce it. It's a good roll. Boy, it worked out great for you, me, and your dad. You know, a lot of times your dad will come up to the table with us, and maybe he'll win for a little while and then lose it all and then storm off. But it stayed hot.
Stayed hot. We all went home big winners, yeah.
And as soon as your dad came up to the table, I called all my bets off. I call all my bets off when your dad comes up to the table, or a stick change, or if the dice go off the table, or if somebody buys it in the middle of a roll.
Well, it's only smart gambling.
That's just smart. That's all that is, yeah. So your dad, comes up in his little scooter. I call my bets off, 7 out.
Right.
And then, Mike, I must have survived like 3 or 4 shooters after that.
4 shooters.
Yeah.
Every time you called your bets off, it was a 7 out.
Yeah.
You played with that same money for 4 shooters.
That was amazing. And at one point, I mean, it saved me well over $1,000 because it was going so well. I was pressing.
One of them, you had a lot out there.
Yes.
And that turning your bets off that time saved you well over $1,000
Yep.
on that one roll.
Yep. So there you go. There must be something to it.
Yeah, there must be. Let's figure that out.
Now, you went to Vegas a few weeks ago, and we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, but you and I were talking about something that happened that I kind of found hard to believe. And you forgot to mention it last time. It's about the limo ride,
yeah.
Right? So talk about that.
Yeah, when I went to check out, they give me a printout of all our charges, and I usually just put all the food on the room and everything.
Sure, just whatever.
And at the end, they just use all my points, and it gets all wiped off. And I noticed I'm looking at the thing just as she gives it to me, and there's a limo charge.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, a limo charge? And when they made the reservation, the host says to me, "Do you want a limo to pick you up?" "Oh, yeah, sure." Mm-hmm. I just assume in the past, it's always been complimentary.
It's always been complimentary. I don't when they've actually offered. I don't remember us ever having to pay.
No,
in any way.
No,
but they deducted it from your reward credits. They deducted it
from my reward credits. Yeah, and
Jeez.
I was like. And I said to the lady at the checkout, now we checked out real early in the morning, so I wasn't in the VIP lounge.
Okay.
It was at the regular checkout.
Sure. Uh-huh.
And so I said to the lady something like, they charge for them. Yeah, that's a charge now. That's something they charge for.
Jeez.
So it was like $72 or something.
Yeah, I looked at it on the thing, $72.10.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you assume that it's free, so you tip the driver, right?
Yeah, I gave him $25 because I assume it's free, and he was nice and he's talking. I'm like, okay, here, I give him $25. So 72 and 25.
It was almost $100 for your ride.
It's $100 from the airport.
Yeah.
Next time we're taking a cab, that's like 20.
And that's why you took a cab back, right?
Yeah, that's why we took a cab back. Yeah, we didn't even bother to ask for a limo because it's like, well, I'm not paying that because the cab's ride's like, I don't know, $15, $16, and then you give them $5, $6.
Meanwhile, when you're finding this out, you're on your way to the airport. You don't want to get into a big discussion and try to fight it. Maybe it's something you could do after the fact if you really wanted to make a stink about it, but that's terrible.
The funny thing was it was early in the morning, but there were about 4 people in line, in the regular line. And there were only 2 people checking out. And the lady who came free for me was quite elderly. And I walk up and I go to the 7-star line because there's actually a diamond 7-star line.
Okay, right. Before,
So I get in that, and then she calls me over, and the lady who had been waiting in the regular line was really upset.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, wait a minute, I've been waiting all this time. He just walked up. And then
it's that whole business with
and the elderly
tier levels
lady's
and,
trying to explain, like, well, he's a 7-star. And I'm just like, oh, gosh,
I know.
And then I'm thinking, I want to go.
Yeah, you just want to get out of there.
I just want to get out of there. So I'm not arguing over anything. I wanted it to go quick because there were people waiting.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't super early. It was like 7:30
on a Sunday, right? When a lot of people should be checking out.
A lot of people will be checking out.
Yeah, that whole tier level issue of the lines, we talked about it a few episodes ago. I don't have a solution, but it can be pretty crappy on both sides.
On both sides, yeah. You feel bad about it. I felt bad, but it's like,
sure.
I just went in the line I was supposed to be in.
I'm just following the rules. What you said reminded me of something. It doesn't have anything to do with the limo, but I would recommend to people anybody who can use reward credits, if you're on a trip, rather than charge to the room, actually just pay with your points wherever you're buying things, because you're more likely to get a discount for being 7 stars or diamonds or even platinum right there than you would at the end when they're just charging you the points, right? So that's just a recommendation: is don't charge to the room if you're going to just use points anyway to pay for it. Pay as you go with the points.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So a couple items in the news. First of all, Boyd Gaming has changed their players club. It's called Be Connected, and they've kind of revamped it. And it's not necessarily good for the player. We won't go over the changes here because Tim and Michelle did a nice job of explaining them on episode 660 of 500 by Midnight. So go back and listen to that. But they had weird things like, if you're a brand new member, you start earning, I don't know what they call them, but you earn credits that you can buy things with, but you can't actually use them till you get to the next tier. So you start earning right away, but you can't use them until you get to the next tier.
Why is that?
That's just one of their changes. I hope I'm getting that right again, but go back and listen to 500 by Midnight because they go through everything. And one other thing, but we forgot to mention this before, Scott at Vital Vegas reported that Win has gone back to 3, 4, 5 times odds.
Right. I saw that tweet.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that it's because people just stopped playing craps there. I
imagine.
hope so.
Well, the last time I was there and it was double odds, there was nobody on the craps tables. It wasn't like Saturday night at prime time.
Sure.
But it was a Saturday and it was during the day. You'd think they'd have some people on craps tables.
Yeah.
There were dealers just standing around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they switch back, there must have been a reason. So that's good news, because when Wynn was making the announcement, he was making it sound like this is a good move for us, casino owners. You should follow my lead here. Right. We should all go to double odds. And I'm glad it backfired. So
right. Well, I think everyone else thought, great, we'll just get his business.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we got an email from our good friend, Dr. Taylor. Taylor sent us a PayPal donation recently in hopes that it would help Tara get her first royal flush. Because, they were heading out to 360 Vegas Vacation 7. So we got this email from him. This happened on Sunday night when they were there. Our favorite cocktail waitress at Downtown Grand is moving to San Diego in a couple of weeks. So we sat at the bar next to where the bartender gets her drink orders done. While she's out delivering drinks, Tara and I were each playing bar top video poker. I got up to go to the restroom and told Tara to sit at my seat so she could talk to Kimberly closer. When I came back, I sat where Tara had been playing. We keep playing, and I let out a short "oh my God" because after I hit the deal button, the machine started paying without me hitting a draw button. Dealt royal. Tara jokingly said a couple of times how I stole her royal flush. Please say a short word to Tara on the podcast how I didn't steal her royal, random number generator and all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry, Taylor, you stole her royal.
Yeah, you stole her royal.
That's all it is to it.
That's all there is to it. Yeah. I was sitting there reading that thinking, wait a minute. I would have been mad. You stole her royal.
You stole it. You knew that it was coming. You made the PayPal donation.
Right.
You knew the royal was coming.
Yeah, you wouldn't have made the PayPal donation if you didn't know the royal was coming, right?
So, you took it. That's a shame, Tara.
Yeah.
You might want to rethink this whole Taylor thing.
Oh my God, we're getting him in so much trouble.
I know. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to our voicemail hotline segment. Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First up is Kelly.
Hey guys, it's Kelly from Utah, and I just saw an article that I thought you and your listeners might be interested in. It says the small 7-table poker room at the Treasure Island Casino Hotel on the Las Vegas Strip is no more, and there aren't any plans to reopen it. The casino closed the room, which wasn't generating a lot of business, on Tuesday. I'm guessing this past Tuesday, the 28th is what they meant. So it's no surprise that happened, and I think their poker room was a bit of a black mark on a property that otherwise was a pretty nice place to stay and play. So I, for one, am glad to see it because I think that the locals were ripping off out-of-towners and stuff like that. Just my humble opinion. But anyway, good luck. Still loving the show, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, Kelly had called in a while back about some shenanigans that they kind of saw going on there. Yeah. So that is good. We love the property too, and really the poker room is the only thing we'd heard anything bad about. So no tears over this, I guess.
Well, and 7 tables, how much was it open to?
That's true. And a lot of casinos are closing their poker rooms. They're just not money makers.
No.
And
the take is so small on those, and you've got to pay a dealer. And, and there's other things. There's other logistics besides the dealer. You've got to have somebody doing the board, keeping
right. So there's personnel.
Pit boss and cocktail waitress going through there, stuff like that.
So there are plenty of casino. The big casino, like there's the Aria has a poker room. Wynn, Venetian, there are some big ones that'll stick around.
Right.
But some of these smaller places, it's not a surprise to see the poker rooms going away.
Yeah. Well, they can put slot machines in there.
Exactly.
They make way more money.
Yep. All right. Next up is Dr. Rick.
Hello, gentlemen. This is Dr. Rick in beautiful Sequim, Washington. I'm just about to go into the Seven Cedars Casino. It's the tribal casino here. Now, last time I called and did this, and I left a after-action report, I'd lost a bunch of money. So since then, I had a really nice week a couple weeks ago. Started with a $400 bankroll, started $12, 6 and 8, $5 on everything else, and walked out with over $1,150, so that was a good night. Went again last week and lost about $100. So we'll see. We'll see what tonight brings. Really simple strategy. I play a little heavy on the inside numbers. I try to go full odds if I get a 6 or an 8. I stay out of the prop bets, except I always play a dollar hard 6 and hard 8 for the dealers. And that's how it goes. So to be continued, check back in. And appreciate all you guys do. Great podcast. Thanks.
All right. We're going to find out later how Rick did.
All right. Well, I'm hoping it's a big result.
I hope it's a good result. All right. We'll see. All right. On the last episode, listener David had told us that Real Craps had finally made it to WinStar in Oklahoma. Real Craps meaning craps played with dice.
With dice.
And it's kind of sweeping the state. So let's hear from Garrett. He's got some more to say about it.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Garrett from Arkansas calling in about the Oklahoma Craps and Roulette plans and what they've been doing recently. I emailed you about it a week or two ago and said that they ended up getting the laws passed a little bit sooner than they expected. So they opened up craps and proper roulette at a lot of the casinos. They opened up the new tables already, and man, it has been booming. My home casino, the craps table is open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. And let me tell you, I have not been there since it opened, and it's not been an almost full table. I mean, there's a couple seats here and there that you could squeeze into, but for the most part, every single spot at the table has been taken from 4 o'clock when it opens to right when it closes. So it's been a lot of fun. I've been playing craps out there. It's actually the first time I've played craps in person. I've played it on my phone, but a couple nights ago I went back and I was playing some more craps, and I got to be the shooter, and they passed the dice to me, and the first roll I rolled a 2, so we all lost, and they're like, it's okay, first roll, whatever. I roll again, and I rolled an 8. So the points on 8, you can do 5 times odds on the 8 there. So we all did 5 times odds. We were talking, kind of had a little bit of table banter going back and forth, and we decided all max out our odds for good luck, and one guy probably had about $500 out there. I think he had $100 as his pass bet. So he had about $600 out there, and the very next roll, we're all getting ready for it, and I 7'd out. And let me tell you, I thought they were going to follow me out in the parking lot and beat me to death. But the table ended up being pretty cool about it. They just said it's okay. We all have a bad roll, and we kept on playing, and we all had a lot of fun after that. So, got to say, it's been a lot of fun. Glad to have it at the casino, and glad to finally actually apply some of the things you guys have talked about in this podcast and be able to relate to it. So, hope to see you guys coming through Oklahoma before long, and whenever you do, we'll have to hit up the craps tables. Anyway, appreciate the stories, fellas. Keep it up, and look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Well, that is good news that they've got the dice there in
Right.
Oklahoma. But, you know, we've talked about it. I don't know if we'll make a special trip there because I think they still charge the ante, don't they? Actually, Garrett has a follow-up call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Garrett from Arkansas again. I broke one of the rules. I talked about Oklahoma gambling in my last call, and I didn't mention the ante. So I forgot to mention it, but what I wanted to say was the ante on craps is actually pretty fair for what they're doing right now. You have to do a $1 ante, but only on the come-out roll. So if someone rolls the come out as an 8, if the 8's the point, then they hit every other number in the field, and you made $200. You only had to pay the $1 ante on the come out. So I just wanted to call back and mention that real quick. That way you kind of know what they're doing with the ante. Overall, I think it's pretty fair. It eats up antes a lot less than something like blackjack or 3-card poker because, well, $1 ante can actually last you quite a long time. So just wanted to call back and tell you that about the ante because you can't talk about Oklahoma without talking about the ante. Anyway, thanks again, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd use the word fair. I mean, it's definitely better
Right.
than other table games like blackjack where you have to pay every hand, that kind of thing. So I don't know if I'd say fair, but at least it's better than some of the other games.
Well, the thing is, the house has an edge on your pass line bet anyway.
Yes.
And then they're taking $1 out of it.
Well, but that
So-
ante, that's like a separate thing. That goes into a different pool. I don't think that
know.
goes straight. Well, yeah.
Still, to you,
it's to you, it doesn't matter.
To you,
yeah.
it doesn't matter where it goes. It doesn't go in your pocket.
Right.
And the other thing, question I have, so it's an ante on every come out.
Every come out.
So a 7 natural winner, you pay another $1.
That's my understanding.
So if
yes.
you have a $5
if you have
pass line
any kind of
bet,
natural, yes,
you basically won $4.
yes,
And
correct.
so an 11, another $4.
Yes, correct.
A 3, you lost your 5
plus
and
$1, so
$6.
$6.
So you
that
lost
you
$6.
Yes, mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. See, that's the part I don't like. How $1 every shooter?
Well, that'd certainly be better. I wonder if they could get away with that. That'd be way better.
I'd be okay with that. I'd say, well, all right, $1 a shooter, but $1 every come out. Guy rolls 3 7s and 11 and then a 3 or something. You're like, wait a minute, I just lost $5.
Yep. All right, next call.
Mark, Dr. Mike, how you doing? Marty from Northern California. Had something happen to me last week that is a strange. I wonder if it ever happened to you. First of all, I normally bet a lot for the dealers like you do, Dr. Mike, and sometimes I think it gives you the edge. So again, last week at a casino that will remain nameless, quarter all the hard ways, heavy 8, hard 8 comes up, hard 4 comes up, parlayed them both, and I got $100 on the 8 and 55 or 50 on the 4, and point winner. So now we're on the come out roll. And normally what I do on the hard way bets is on the come out roll. Any of them that I parlay, I call them off and hop them, and then on the other ones I have them working.
That's exactly what I
did
do.
that like I normally do. Hop them for a quarter, and shooter comes out hard 6, and they pay me for the hard 6 hopping. Now again, I had called the 8 and 4 off and bet them hopping. They set it up wrong, and the box man comes over and looks and says, "Well, why does he got that? Why are you paying him here? He's got these 2 off." And the dealer kind of looks down at me and looks at the bet that I've got on the pass line, and he goes, "Well, that's the way he likes to play them. You pay the man." Kind of a strange one. It happens occasionally when, again, dealers make mistakes and pay you off on the wrong one. In this case, worked to my favor. Just wondered if that ever happened to you guys, and what would you do? Have a great one, guys. Love the show. See you later.
Yeah, it helps to be on the dealer's good side, right? They set it up wrong, so if the eye in the sky is watching,
it looks right.
Everything's correct.
Yeah, it looks right. They can't read your lips. I'll tell you what, just this recently, I had a pretty large bet on 6 and 8.
Place
bets. And 6 came up 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Right? But they paid my 8, which was
higher?
Which was a bigger bet. So I had $150 on 6 and $240 on 8, just because I had been pressing them. Anyway, 6 came up, he paid the 8. At first I didn't even catch it, and then I'm looking at my money like, oh gosh, he paid the wrong one.
Yeah.
But he paid everybody.
Paid everybody as if it
way.
would have been 8. Yeah.
Right. And then the next one, 6 came up, and he did the same thing, paid the 8. And then the third third time, he paid it and actually had the money already. And then another dealer saw it and said, "Oh no, the call was 6." And he, okay, backed it up. And it was so funny. I was like,
You do see that every once, especially with the 6 and 8, sometimes with the 5 and 9, but since the 6 and 8 are right next to each other, you do see it a lot.
The funny thing is the only one who really benefited was me because everyone else had like a $30 6 and $30
it was the same,
8.
yeah.
So it didn't matter, but I had a much higher 8 for whatever reason. So it does happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And it wasn't an intentional thing, I don't think.
Oh, well,
it's just
no, but I think the dealer knew what had happened, and was kind of on Marty's side, right? The dealer clearly knew what happened, right? Why would he hop? Here's what I want you to do. Next time, you're in that same situation, you've parlayed one of your hard ways. I want you to hop all the ones that you haven't pressed. Just because it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that makes
You're trying to explain to the stick person right now. No, this is what I want.
How many times have you heard them? They put it on the wrong one. So I'll say, if I have $100 hard 6, it's off on the come out. I hop it, $15 for me, 10 for the dealer, something like that. Right. But sometimes they'll put it on the wrong one. And then I'll say, no, the 6. And they always look at me quizzingly like, why the 6? I was like, well, that's the one that's pressed. The others.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, and the dealers who've seen me do that forever still get screwed up on that.
Yeah.
So it's easy to happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. All right. Next up is Dan.
Hey, guys. This is Dan in New Jersey. And I was calling to tell you about something that happened to me playing in our online casino games here in New Jersey. We have the legal online status. And Hard Rock AC has a live dealer game of Texas Hold'em, which I like. And I think they are the only casino in New Jersey that has the live dealer game of Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And if you're not familiar with these live dealer games, basically what happens is there's a video shot of a dealer standing at a table, and they deal the cards just like they would if you were sitting at the table across from them. The only difference being that as they pull the cards out of the shoe, they drag them across a scanner that reads the cards. So the system then knows what cards the dealer has, the player has, and in this case, of course, the community cards. I was playing for a while, was not going especially well, going badly, in fact. But in the course of things, a hand came up where the players were dealt, and the players all share the same cards, obviously. Players were dealt Queen of Spades, 10 of Hearts. And by the book in Ultimate Texas Hold'em, you are supposed to max out your pre-flop bet with that hand. So I did. And then the flop came, 9 of Spades, 10 of Diamonds, 10 of Spades. So trip 10s on the flop, that's fantastic. Off to a great start. Turn comes 4 of Spades. River comes 7 of Spades. So it's a flush. It's a queen-high flush for the players. Now the dealer looks up, and suddenly she's concerned, and something went wrong. And it seems that what happened was when she pulled the turn card out of the shoe and pulled it across the scanner, it didn't scan. It didn't read. So the system doesn't actually know that the hand is over yet. So she presses a button that's supposed to call for, help from on high or whatever. And we're all waiting and waiting and waiting. In the course of waiting, she flips over her cards. She has a 7 and a 4. So she has 2 pair. The players are going to win with a queen-high flush. But then the decision comes down that no, they're going to cancel the hand and refund everyone's bets. And I have to tell you, that really made me angry. I can't believe you can win a hand, see all the cards, and then just be told, no, we're not gonna pay you. Of course, I filed a complaint. I filed what they call an official case, and we'll wait to see the outcome of that. I suspect they're going to decide, as they investigate themselves, that they did nothing wrong. That's the way those things usually go, but we'll see. In any case, I think win or lose, I think I'm done with Hard Rock Online, because that is, I think it's actually outrageous that they would come to that conclusion. They certainly have every second of those games on videotape, and they could review it.
And Dan got cut off there at the 3-minute mark. Yeah, a lot of people prefer these live dealer online games because maybe they don't trust the electronic version. Who knows what they're doing on the electronic version. Right. So at least if there's a dealer there with cards, you can see what's going on. Well, there's a downside to that is dealer error like this. And
wouldn't everyone have won with trips though anyway?
Well, I know what you're saying. It's like you're saying he probably would have won with trips. Why not just pick up the action at the turn and the river?
Right.
That's what you're saying, right?
Right.
And I was thinking the same thing. There must have been some way they could. Surely there's a way on this system where they can manually put in the cards or back up something. I mean,
Right.
I could be
You would
completely
think.
wrong. I
Yeah.
could be completely wrong. But it seems to me there must have been some other way to handle
Well, whoever
this.
designed it had to somehow account for dealer error.
You would think so,
right?
yes.
Like we didn't slide it over the scanner right or something. So there must be a way to back things up and manually enter it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't believe there wouldn't be.
Yeah, this was either way. It was a bad decision. Oh, let's say there's not some way to back it up,
Right.
Then okay, just review how the hand would have played, and then credit all the players their winnings, not
Right.
just get their money back, but actually their winnings.
Their winnings,
right?
right,
Because it's
yeah.
clear what happened there,
Right.
And it's almost like the casino's free rolling. What if the
Right.
dealer had won?
Right.
Would they have made the same decision?
Right. Well,
you don't know.
That's the thing. That's the thing. What would they have done?
Right.
Would they have said, "Oh yeah, we know
what would have happened.
Yeah.
So sorry, you lost the
we
hand.
had two pair and nobody else could have beat us." But
Yeah,
that's
a bad story.
Yeah, that's a bad story.
Hopefully, Dan, there's something positive will come out. But yeah, I'd be pessimistic too if I were Dan.
Very
yeah.
pessimistic. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's hear a Las Vegas trip report.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Bobby from Chicago. Just calling with a little Vegas trip report. Flew in Saturday, August 25th, and Saturday night while I was waiting after the pool and dinner, I saw an empty craps table at the Venetian. It was a $25 table, so I bought in for a couple hundred. I bet the pass line, took the odds, and I put 25 on all the hard ways. Ended up hitting the hard 8 the second roll. And I was going to parlay it, but I decided, you know what, let's just press it to 50. Hit it again, pressed it to 100, hit that, and then when I pressed it to 150, did end up rolling 8 the easy way, but I had the 8 and the 5 covered as well, so it wasn't too bad. Best craps roll I've ever had, so I ended up walking away from that table up like $17.50 after tipping the dealers. And the luck just never ran out. I went and played some blackjack and roulette. And I actually did not lose at a table from about Saturday night at 7 o'clock till about Monday at 10 p.m. Finally came back down to earth. One of the better things, never been in the poker room before. Bought in, no limit Texas Hold'em for 300. And after about 25 minutes, ended up cashing out at 1,000. All the guys couldn't believe it, first time. But I love the podcast. I just want to let you guys know about my great trip to Las Vegas and hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you.
That's a nice run.
It's so rare that you have a trip where everything's going your way almost the whole time, right?
Right.
It's just so great when it does happen.
Usually
It's
like one good day.
Yeah,
and the other 2 days are terrible.
But just, even if it's like just a few bucks at every table, I won $20 here. Yeah, I played for 2 hours, won $20 just every. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, that's very nice.
All right, let's hear from our good friend Melanie.
Hello, Mark. Hello, Dr. Mike. It's Melanie from Colorado. I've been following along at home and very much enjoying your ongoing discussion of when the homeless guy sat next to the friend of yours or the caller and the guy hit for a big jackpot and gave him part of it. Did he owe him anything or not? I love that. I don't think he owed him anything. I think it's a really incredibly nice gesture, though, that he just kind of followed through on it. I remember back, about a year ago, I was sitting at Boar's Head and a guy hit $1 Royal next to me, and he cashed in and he left. I'm like, man, he was sitting right next to me, It would have been fun for him to throw me a 20. Didn't need it, didn't want it. It was just kind of fun to be in the moment. When I hit that $1 Royal from that, we were there for Travel Zork, I was tired. I couldn't, I actually was dealt a flush. And I was like, do I keep this? Do I not? And I was consulting my app and I had forwarded the Royal. I'm like, what would you do to the girl next to me? And she was young. She looked like she had just gotten off a shift. But anyway, ended up throwing the card away, getting the card that I needed, got the Royal Flush $4,000. And I turned around and I found her and I gave her $100. Not that I needed to or felt compelled, but because I remember that moment of, it'd be fun to share in this. And she was like, no, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, no, I want to. And she's like, I won. And she held it up. So just want to let you know I've been enjoying the saga. So I've been a little more information about Colorado casinos. There's a newer casino, I think, called The Casino. They offer a $25 free play for the high hand of the day. It's on double bonus. And I think this is wild. I don't ever play that. I don't know. Anyway, I think I've hit it every time I've gone down, claimed that free play. played it and went again. So I think I'm on 4 or 5 times. So anyway, they have a sister casino. We had a draft party there. I think it's called Grand Reserve. It's up in Central City. It's all isolated by itself. Hit my first Colorado Royal there on Wednesday night. So that was exciting. Also won the high hand of the day and got 25 free plays. So anyway, that's a really fun promotion. And since everything's changing at the Boyd, I know it's only $2 usually, but I'm a big fan of that. When you get 4 of a kind, you get your scratcher ticket at Main Street. Anyway, it's really fun to get your 4 of a kind, and it's probably going to be the high hand because not too many people play at either of these casinos that I've seen. So anyway, love the show, guys. Incidentally, your show comes out every other Thursday when we get paid, so it's like the best day. I just love Thursday so much. So love your show, guys. Take care. Bye.
Nice. Double whammy.
Yeah. She gets paid and then she has to listen to us. Like,
That's right. At least I got paid.
Yeah.
Since Melanie brings it up too, it's good just to let everybody know if you're dealt a flush in video poker and you have 4 to the Royal, get rid of that 5th card. Yeah. You may be giving up a flush, but maybe you could get another flush. That's happened to me many times. Right. Or you could get that big Royal flush. So always get rid of that one card.
I think you should always go for the Royal in any circumstance. Yeah. She gets so many Royals.
I know. What can you would not
and Melanie, she's so nice. She hunts the girl down to give her a tip. I mean, I get a Royal. I'm going to run around the bar there, that circular thing. I'm going to run around and I'm going to stop by everyone playing. In your face! I just hit a Royal! In your face! You were right here!
That's good. Are you going to yell it as loud as you yelled hard 6 in my ear the other night? Good Lord. Oh my God. My ears are still ringing.
I was rolling and the point was 6 and I rolled it and he came up hard on the cards, right? And I turned around. Mark's right next to me and as loud as I could, I yelled, "Frontline winner, 6 hard."
Yeah, as loud as he could, in my ear.
Right in his ear. And I mean, all the other tables stopped. and Virginia, who's in the pit next to us, the pit boss, she walks over and says, "Mike, was that a hard 6?"
Real calmly. Real straight face.
Mike, was that a hard 6? Yeah. Oh, God, it was loud.
All right. Now,
afterwards, I felt bad, by the way.
It was terrible.
I felt bad.
I thought, what can I do? Get mad? We just won.
That was a little too loud.
It was too loud. I got to back up here, though, because longtime listeners, and I mean longtime listeners, can probably find an episode where you were asking specifically, I've got a flush. Should I have gotten rid of that 5th card to draw to a Royal? Yeah, and you didn't, apparently. If I recall, you did not. You stuck with the flush. So I'm glad now you're saying...
At that point, I still had hope that I was going to get a Royal at some point.
Wait, no,
now I know that I'm never getting a Royal, so I'm going to try extra hard to get it. I'm going to do everything I can.
That logic seems backwards to me, but okay.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever you say, Dr. Mike. All right. Next up is Mark.
Hey, Mike and Mark. This is Mark in Florida. This is a few months late, but I was just remembering this interesting Pie-Gow story from my brother's and mine trip to Vegas in July. We were both new to the game. My brother even more so. I played it a couple of times, but when we got there and sat down to play, my brother decided that, hey, this is pretty good if you can bank. And we were playing at the Cromwell, and the table was full. People were just playing the table minimum mostly, $20 or $30 a hand. And my brother said, hey, I'd like to bank. And this one player, kind of looked, and I don't know if he just was a little bit offended at that or something, but when he heard my brother was going to bank, he put a $100 chip with it added to his bet, so he was betting about $130. And when the hand was resolved, my brother beat his low hand by just a narrow margin, by like a high card. And then their 5-card hand was exactly the same.
Oh, nice.
Pie-Gow hand. And I think it was ace high and maybe deuce low and a 4 or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but card for card, it was the same 5-card hand. So this guy lost $140 on that push. And he immediately colored up and just kind of left in a huff. But we were having a good time and had been participating in the Cromwell happy hour, so we were just having fun, and the other people were having fun. But I thought that was pretty interesting to bank and then win the push on 5 cards. Anyway, enjoy the show, and I heard you guys this last week talk about Pie-Gow, so I thought I'd share that with you. We had a lot of fun with it, and certainly it's a good game to play if you just want to hang around for a while and go back and forth. Okay, enjoy the show. Thanks.
Now, what was the guy thinking who slides the 100 under? Like, oh, this guy's banking. I'll teach him.
I guess he's angry. Yeah, he doesn't like the fact that
he's going to bank. So what does he care if he's playing against him or the house?
it really shouldn't matter. But maybe he think it's anybody who banks is unlucky. Maybe he's seen that, empirically. He's decided whenever a player banks.
Yeah, like the house is real unlucky when they bank.
Yeah.
It's not like he bet on the don't.
No.
Then you have a reason to hammer him, right? But the house covers your bet. If the banker doesn't have enough money to cover the table.
Correct.
The house covers everything else.
It's going to depend on the casino. Some casinos insist that you have enough bank to cover the table, but usually that's the way is starting with the first action, the banker, the player that's actually banking gets that first action, and then the rest is handled by the casino.
Handled by the casino. And if I remember correctly, we were playing once and you had to bet the same amount you bet the hand before or more.
That's what the dealer is betting against you as the banker.
Okay.
Right. That's so
whatever your last bet was.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Now I will generally not bank if there are other players at the table. I just don't, I don't want to be playing against other people. So I'll always bank if it's just one-on-one, as should everyone. If you're playing one-on-one at a regular Pai Gow poker table,
you should bank
every other hand, say I'd like to bank, because you get this copy advantage. This is what Mark was talking about, right? Is that when you're the dealer, when you're the banker, I should say, when you're the banker,
if it's a tie,
you win that tie, right? So you want to do that every other time. It's getting harder to do these days with these no collection games, right? Where they've got, you don't have to pay any VIG,
right?
But like a queen high is you can't bank in those games. So it's getting a little bit more rare. But it's funny, we've seen 5-card pushes quite a few times.
Sure.
You play enough Pai Gow, you see it. I know at least once and maybe twice, we've seen 7-card pushes where all 7 cards were exactly the same, right? So, of course, the player loses and the banker wins.
Yeah, you'd think you'd see that like an ace high.
Right, exactly. An ace high, something like that, yes, that goes all the way down.
Right,
because any other time you're talking about pairs or whatever, then it's really unlikely.
Really unlikely. But ace high, you could easily have like queen jack on top, ace, 10, 9, 5, 4.
Right, all the way
Something
down.
Like that.
Yep. All right, so on our last episode, Tim Lawson asked us if he thought Pai Gow poker had surpassed 3-card poker in popularity at casinos as far as table games go. And Charles actually called us with some data.
Oh, nice.
Hi, this is Charles calling from Wisconsin. On either your last show or another very recent show, you were talking about the most popular card games in casinos. And the UNLV Center for Gaming Research actually provides numbers. And in 2017, just on the Las Vegas Strip, not statewide, downtown, anything like that, there were 1,280 blackjack games, 327 baccarat games, 114 3-card poker games, or tables, I guess, and 93 Pai Gow poker tables. Below that were 68 mini baccarat tables, then 33 let it ride tables, and on top of that, 190 other games. While I'm a little disappointed that you didn't answer and talk to me in person and that this was just a voicemail line, I do really enjoy the show, and I hope somehow my drunken ramblings will give a little light to the mix of games. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Well, so there you go. As far as number of tables, 3-card poker still has the edge over Pai Gow poker.
Now, I didn't see craps listed anywhere in there.
Well, this was just card-based table games. That's why roulette's not there either. Oh, right. So that's what we were talking about when Tim had asked as far as card-based table games. Right, exactly.
Now, I wonder if you add in roulette tables, because there's usually only 1 or 2 roulette tables.
Yeah, not as many,
small casinos. But craps, you can have like 6 tables. There might be only 10, 12 blackjack. I mean,
I was actually surprised to hear how many baccarat tables there are. I know it's a popular game and now, popular with high rollers.
Does that include like mini Bach?
Well, see, no, because he listed separate mini Bach, right? So, and I would include mini Bach along with that. Yes, it's a little bit different the way the mechanics are, but it's essentially the same game. So I was a little surprised that they're not horribly surprised, but a little surprised.
I'm surprised. Like Pai Gow poker, does that include tiles?
No. No,
That's just card
That's
games.
just Pai Gow poker. Absolutely. Yeah. Tiles.
Not that many casinos have tiles.
Not that many do. And again, we're talking about card games,
Right.
and that's technically not a card game.
I know, but it's a table game.
It is a table game, but again, that's why roulette's not there. That's why craps is not there. Are you following me, Dr. Mike?
Table tennis is a table game.
Yeah, yeah, it is. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's find out how.
But let's call it ping pong.
Yeah.
And listed on there how many casinos have ping pong.
All right, we're going off the rails here, Mike. Let's find out how Rick did at Seven Cedars Casino. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hey, hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. So this is Dr. Rick in beautiful downtown Squim. I'd love to tell you that I nailed it on the table, but not so. Sideways, choppy, downwards. Just a couple of us on table, pretty quiet. It's a nice little casino. It's $3 minimum with 10 times odds across the table, so that's kind of nice. They have hot bets, but they don't do any all tall or small and no fire bet or anything. It's pretty straightforward. But a nice little place to play. And at this point, I know the dealers so well, so we have a good time. And they made more money on tips off my hard sixes and hard eights than I did tonight. So that's, I guess, not a bad night overall. Anyway, thanks again, and, keep throwing the dice.
Oh, well, hey, $3 with 10 times odds.
Yeah, it's
not bad.
He said 10 times odds is pretty good. Is that good or is that bad?
I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What
I will say the amount of odds you can take is determined at the end of the night if I'm up or down.
Okay.
If I'm down, 10 times odds was bad for
That's
me.
right. That's right. I know there have been times we've been at a 10 times table and you're saying, let's go where they only have 3, 4, 5 times odds. I'm losing too much money. Well, that's it for calls. We actually got a couple last minute calls from Alton and Eric Rosenthal that I just didn't have time to download and get ready for the episode. So we'll get those next time. A lot of times when calls come in on Wednesday in a week where we're recording, I just don't have time to get them ready. So
we had plenty of time today because we recorded so late.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, we're pushing midnight.
Yeah,
here.
I do have other things that I need to do. Sorry, Alton and Eric Rosenthal. Mike's making me look bad. But I'll tell you, we do. You know what we're going to do now? A segment we haven't done for a long time.
Okay.
Movie gambling scene.
Oh,
or
nice.
gambling movie scene. I guess we don't really have a proper title for it. It's a gambling scene from a movie.
There you go. That's a proper title.
Yes. And this is from the movie Lost in America, a comedy from 1985, directed by Albert Brooks. You've seen this, haven't
I've
you?
seen it,
I may have seen it in the theater with you. I'm sure I saw it with our friend Mike James.
Yeah.
Because we were big Albert Brooks fans. But anyway, Albert Brooks and Julie Haggerty play a couple, David and Nancy, who live in Los Angeles. David works for an advertising company. And when he doesn't get a promotion he was expecting, he has a meltdown at work and is fired. So David convinces Nancy to quit her job so that they can basically drop out of society and travel across the country like in the movie Easy Rider. He keeps going on about how it's like Easy Rider. But instead of motorcycles, they buy this big RV.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't buy a motorcycle.
This big tripped out RV. They've got around $100,000 that they've saved up that David calls their nest egg, that he figures they can live off of for years.
Years.
Well, this is 1985.
Right.
And the idea is they're going to go across the country and camp.
Right.
They're not
going to spend a lot of money.
Right, they're not going to spend a lot of money. Well, as they get started on their journey, they end up in Las Vegas, and Nancy convinces David to stay one night in a nice hotel, kind of like their last really nice night before they
the last night they can take a real shower.
Right, exactly. So they end up at the Desert Inn. They spend the night, and when David wakes up early the next morning, Nancy is not in the room. So he goes down to the casino to find her, still in his bathrobe.
Yeah. 5 again. Double up on 5, double up on 4. Ain't you?
Hey, you can't come in a casino dressed like that.
I saw Electric Horseman. An animal rode through here with lights on it.
26.
Come on back to me, 22. Come on back to me. Come on back. Come on, 22, 22, 22. Come on back. Come on back. 22. Come on. Come on. Come on. 22.
What are you doing? What's
22.
the matter with you?
Not now. Not now. Just go away. Not now. Come
How long
on,
have you been
22.
down here?
Root for me. We're going for 22. 22. 22.
12.
22.
How much was that? How much money is that?
All right. One more time. 22.
Why are you
Big
betting
chip,
22?
22. Big
We
chip,
got it,
22. Come on back to me, 22. Just come on back.
She's been here all night. She's not on a lucky streak. I think you should talk to her.
How much has she lost?
Talk to her.
How much?
Talk.
Come on back. Come on.
The man says you're not on a lucky
What man?
Right over here, he says you've lost.
I was down earlier, but come on.
And you're up now?
No, I'm still down, but I'm going to hit now.
How down are you?
David, you're going to bring me bad luck now.
Well,
Stop
he says
it.
you've
Come on.
already got bad luck.
22, come on. 22. Yeah.
22.
No!
All right, I'm sorry, all right, I'm up.
$35.
We're up.
No, we're still down.
How down?
Down.
How
22 down. 22.
How down is she?
Down.
Come on. 22.
How down are you?
20 down.
How much have you lost?
Everything.
What does that mean?
Everything.
No, what do you mean?
Everything
What do you
on
mean? What is
22
everything?
and
What are
make
you
it
doing?
happen for me.
Why the hell are you betting all that on one number?
Come
Where did you get that
on
number?
back to me,
What is
22.
22?
Come on back.
Stop betting
Come on
22.
back.
00.
You lost. It's gone.
22.
What do you mean
22.
everything?
Two.
You have no more money. Stop it.
22.
There's no more money there. Stop it.
You really like 22, huh?
Stop it. Come here.
22. I'm going to hit on
Stop it. You're not
22.
there anymore.
All right. Now, this is a comedy and this is a funny scene, but it's also a horrible scene,
Yeah,
right? I mean, it's really horrific.
He loses all the
because
money.
she's lost the entire nest egg. That's how the story goes.
I like when she wins.
I know.
$35.
Yeah, right. You can just imagine how much she was betting before. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, again, funny, but incredibly tragic as well. Well, on the next episode, we'll hear a subsequent scene where Albert Brooks, David, tries to get the money back. He has a meeting with the casino manager, and that's a great scene, too. So we'll save that for next time. And thanks to listener Paul for the suggestion on this clip.
I liked it. 22.
I know, and the other guy at the
22.
table, yeah, she really likes 22.
She really likes 22.
Oh, it's horrible.
I'll tell you what, this week, in honor of this clip,
Yeah.
I'm going to run from the craps table to the roulette, which is right behind the craps table
Yep.
there, and bet 22 every time.
Okay,
Just
good.
$5
You'll
on
do it.
22.
$5 on 22. All right. I will let you know how that turns out, folks.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Hey, we want to thank listener Tony for a PayPal donation. He said a karma donation for my upcoming 60th birthday trip at the Borgata, September 16th and 17th.
Nice.
Yeah, great. So that's coming up this weekend. So yeah, good luck on that. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonline.com/TV-listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 951-2-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonline@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at youcanbetonline and on Facebook at facebook.com/youcanbetonline. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. And you know who else we love? We love you, Tara and Taylor. Yeah. I know we're giving you a hard time. Tara, give Taylor another chance.
Yeah, give him a chance. I mean, he didn't know he'd come up. You know, random generator and everything.
Exactly. What else you got for us, Dr. Mike?
Well, Mark, I'm just tingly all over because it's football season.
Yeah.
And that, and I'm itchy a little bit too.
Sure, yeah,
But-
you just in general.
But the Chargers are off to their fabulous start.
Yeah,
right?
that's great. And with their 16 away games, you see how many Chiefs fans were in the stands?
Oh my God. It was terrible. Now they play in that little tiny stadium until this new thing is done, right? Which won't be their stadium anyway. It'll be
shared with the Rams. Yeah, you're right. It'll be the Rams stadium.
It's the Rams
exactly.
stadium.
Yeah.
They're just living there for a while. They're like the unwanted house guest.
Exactly
that never
right.
leaves.
Exactly.
The Rams are thinking, when are they going to leave? When are they going to leave? Get your own place.
Yeah,
You're grown up
that
now.
is so true.
Dean Spanos. Alex was his dad.
Yeah.
Dean Spanos, grow up. Get your own home.
It is
unbelievable. There's only 2 decks to that stadium, and you can only on TV see the bottom deck.
Right.
And I mean, it's all red.
It was all red, and they're not even selling out you're talking about how it's a small venue, right? They're not even selling out. Even last year, their opening game, they didn't sell out. Now they're saying they did,
right?
But it's clear if you just look in the stands, people aren't coming. I don't know if they're giving away tickets
They give
or whatever,
away tickets
right?
and stuff, right? You can always say you sold it out. You just gave them away.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too. On one play, Rivers his team could not hear him making the calls.
Yep.
In his own home stadium. That should never happen. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm still glad it's football season. I love football. And I love the Chargers.
I do.
I would just love to see him win.
I'll tell you. They're not my team. I've said it before. Why? Because they're not in San Diego. That's why they were my team.
I know, but we don't,
I do not love
we
the
don't have
Chargers,
a team.
and I find myself, I don't think about it, but I find myself rooting against them when I'm watching games. So
Sure.
that's just, I don't know, Schadenfreude or whatever. But
I understand. I understand why people do that, but I got to root for somebody.
Sure.
So, I'm going to root for them still. I'm going to root for the Vikings still. I hope the Vikings go
all right. Well, that's fine. Your wife's from Minnesota, right? So I root for the Bears because my wife's from Illinois.
Well, I like the Vikings.
Did you watch that game the other night?
Yeah.
The Bears and the Packers, yeah.
But I rooted for the Vikings way before I married my wife. Before I even knew my wife. When I was a kid, I liked them because they wore purple. I liked the color purple.
Okay, I'll give you
purple
that.
people eaters.
You're right. That's good. Yep.
Fran Tarkington was great. You know, always the smallest guy in the field, always being chased.
Yep.
And so my picks for this week.
All right.
For college football is bet against the Aztecs.
Okay.
Take Arizona State -5. And then in the upset, you know what? Go with Hawaii again.
Okay. Very good.
They're I think 7-point underdogs to Army.
Okay.
Away. They're
Away.
not at home.
Right.
But I think they're for real. And I think they could potentially win that game.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, it is late. This is one of our later recordings. So we got to get you home. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Good night.
Mark, that was wonderful. I had no idea you were so talented. The audience is going to love you.